Hello, my name is Marion Burke. Welcome. Thank you for joining me. A message from experience. Encourage your child's talent. I'm not a psychologist or a professional expert. I can only speak from my own experience. I am a slow learner. When I was a child, I was often punished at home and at school because I struggled to learn. This was before I went to a special school. I didn't have any friends because I found it hard to connect with other children. My extended family asked my mother, "What will Marion's future be?" People looked straight through me as if I had no soul. I remember my great-grandaunt smiled and nodded. "Marion will do well," as if she could see my future ahead. I remember one extended family member even tried to set me up with a young man. At that time, I was told not to ask questions and to hide the fact that I was a slow learner. But something inside me resisted and I stood my ground. Today, I am happily married and comfortable in my own skin. As an adult, I've learned to advocate for myself and not to be a doormat. I am grateful for my difficult experience when I was younger because they shaped me into a stronger person with clear principles and values. I will always have a slow processing speed and I have my own learning style, but that doesn't hold me back. I have my full driving license, 18 years, and I work with adults with additional needs. In my work, I always put myself in their shoes because I know what it feels to be misunderstood. I discovered some important truths I would like to share with you. First and foremost, encourage your child's talent, no matter how big or small they seem. Every child has something unique inside them. A gift, a spark, a passion. Sometimes it's subtle, but it's there. It might be something that will lead to a future job, career, or maybe a hobby that will bring happiness and confidence. Either way, nurturing that talent, like planting a seed that can grow into something beautiful. Don't estimate your power of your encouragement. Has a light, a fire in your child's heart. One of the hardest and most vital that I have learned is how important it is to really listen to your child. And I mean really listen. Not just with their words. Sometimes they can't even talk yet. Or maybe they find it hard to communicate. But their bodies speak volumes. With their eyes, their movements, their actions, their moods. Watch carefully. Learn their language. When you understand them, even without words, you're giving them a gift that can't be measured. Caring for others comes naturally to me, even as a young child. I remember I was only 8 years old, still going to a special school. I was already feeding and changing my newborn sister. At that age, I was still growing myself. I couldn't even reach the kitchen sink without standing on my toes. But somehow I was trusted with caring for someone so small and fragile. That experience shaped me profoundly. It taught me about responsibility, patience, and the love in a way no classroom ever could. I don't say these things to seek praise or recognition. The real reward comes from seeing your child grow, learn, and thrive. What truly matters is being your child's strongest advocate. Stand by their side, speak up for their needs, fight for their rights. Make sure that they get the support, the education, and the opportunities they deserve. From my experience, I was blessed to have had my mother to advocate for me. Many children don't have anyone to do that. It can make a real difference. It can make when someone believes in you, helps open doors. It can change everything. I read a short article about a little boy who was in a wheelchair and nonverbal and wrote a book using a computer just with his eyes. What touched me most was how his parents believed in him and encouraged his talent. I could feel how proud that they were of their son, and it made me feel proud too, even though I don't know them. The story moved me deeply, that I felt empowered, but at the same time, I found it hard to put those feelings into words. It reminds me how much love and support can change someone's life. It made me believe more what people and children can achieve, no matter the challenges. Family's love is a true blessing. At present, I'm writing a book titled Through the Eyes of a Slow Learner. Today, I share my story in hope it will help others like me to discover and embrace their own voices and journey, no matter how big or small. We all have strengths and weaknesses. Sometimes our weaknesses are our strengths. It was a pure pleasure to share my story with you. Thank you. Bye-bye.